What's that coming over the hill? Is it a monster? Good afternoon and welcome to Turbo Tortoise Tech. I hope you've enjoyed that very jarring introduction and it's put you on your feet for this pretty sick product from Monster. For those of you who don't know about Monster, let me do a quick history lesson. Basically, Noel Lee decided to be the best audio cable manufacturer pretty much ever, and now everybody calls a certain type of basically twisted copper cable Monster cable because of how well he did it. He became sort of the baseline for it. So yeah, now we have Monster cable, and Monster Audio has followed on from there and done a couple of things like the original Beats by Dre and some other stuff for people like Lady Gaga and Madonna and all kinds of people. You can go and check on their site. It's actually quite interesting. But main thing is they've been turning their focus into really good bang for buck products. I mean, some of the very entry-level earphones start at like 300-400 rand. These are not like that though. This is a way more premium set, and quite evidently with way more premium sort of lifetime and functionality. So let's start off from the top with what you get in the box. Packaging is really nice, I have to say. It's one of Monster's better things. I actually prepared this just so that I could show you how it would come packaged. So that's what you are greeted with over there. Then inside the box would be your actual case, would sit like that. Then underneath each earbud is a little plastic insert so they aren't connected to the charger out of box. And then in the bottom box you'll get your cable and your spare in-ears, which are very important, and I'll tell you a little bit about those later. Sorry, OCD demands that I pack it back and put it back there. It's a hell of a drug. Then, like I say, you've got the clamshell top setup with your little container with your two earbuds inside there. Then you do get a Monster Type-C cable with Monster branding on it. So nobody can steal it and say, hey, that's my cable, it's got Monster on it. I'm the only one with Monster here, get out of here. It's my Type-C. So nobody can steal that. It is a little patch cable, it's not very long. If I just unravel it here for a second.
Few moments later.
It's literally just so that you can connect it like into the side of your laptop if you want to charge of USB 3 or something like to that effect. It's just a little baby patch cable that they put in. Nice to include it in a package. That it does come with its own little cable. At least it's something, right? And then, like I say, you get the other set of in-ears. Sorry, once again, OCD says that I put that back exactly how it was there, so you can see it the whole time and stuff. It's a curse, but it's also a gift. Then, like I say, you also get these different sizes of in-ear things because Monster understands that not everybody has the same size ear canal. It's very important as well because it does affect the sound stage and audio quality of the buds. The medium set is on by default. I found these quite comfortable and didn't really feel the need to change them out, well, based on my experience. So let's go through some of that experience. So the earbuds sit inside of the container just like that. There is absolutely no way that they will come out of there. Magnetically attached, easy to remove, and then just pop them back in and they're then charging. As soon as you remove them, they automatically switch on, and once you put them in the ear, then you'll hear a very pleasant voice tell you that it's time to get to pairing. Both of them will link to each other automatically as well. I have had it where you can use one or the other if you just want to have the right ear in for when you're driving, etc. Because there is actually a little microphone. There's a little jawbone microphone built into each of these sets over the front over here. So you can use it as then a hands-free kit as well. So it's a nice little two-in-one like that. The case as well is really nice. It's quite robust. These are aluminium prongs over here. The feel and everything of that, it's been made to be opened and closed repetitively over its life cycle, and that's not going to break very easily. The battery pack and everything that sits in the bottom here isn't going to be replaceable. It is like a sealed unit. So once it is dead, that's it, unfortunately. But the cells and stuff in here are extremely good quality. And this is my little segue into the usage of the actual product. So using it, I connected it to my PC on the Bluetooth 4.0 over there. This is a Bluetooth 5.0 device, so it is on the newer generations of that and should get a little bit better performance with those sort of devices. But everything I've used it on is 4.0, my phone and my PC. And the range was really good. I literally was going through multiple walls, which is new for me on Bluetooth. It generally peters off. As soon as it hits a wall, the signal tends to shatter, and that's generally the end of it. But these were going quite a lot further than that. They were going through, like I said, multiple walls, like 2 to 3 walls before it started to lose its signal. And it's also quite nice in that it's quite abrupt. It doesn't really like peter out. It doesn't when you're losing signal, it tends to and start breaking up. This was very much on or off, which I much preferred. It was obviously less fatiguing and rubbish on the ear. The battery life on this is somewhat disgusting, okay? I took these puppies out, put on the old Crab Rave 10-hour mix. Hit it up with a big stick on YouTube. Thank you for whoever put that together. And just left it playing at 75% volume, which was audible, quite loud on the ear, at the point of almost discomfort. So it was playing quite loud, like I say, 75% of max volume for more than 10 hours. And it used a total of 70% battery life. The quoted for this dock and setup is 28 hours. The headsets themselves with a single charge will get you 14 hours and change, basically, based on that math. 70% battery usage on 10 hours. If you run back the math, it's a little over 14 hours worth of battery life from a single charge on this headset. So if you're traveling, you've got this connection, you've got a laptop as well. If you've got power at a bistro, wherever you are, wherever you can plug in, then you could charge these up and then use them for 30, I would say it's going to do probably a bit more than 30 hours, because even after that 10-hour usage, I've put them into to the dock, charged them up again and checked on my phone, and it took about an hour and 20 minutes to go from 30% to full. So, and these have fast charge as well. So the first 15 minutes is like quite a bit. You get like a 30% boost to the battery life in the headset. So even if you wanted to, use them for longer than that, a quick charge and you'll be right back to using them. Now, always the question is going to be, what about audio quality? So that's actually something a little interesting with these. The way that they lock in and stuff, the way that these turn into the ear. So when you put it into the ear, I'm actually going to use the left-hand one. There we go. I picked up the correct one. So when you put it into the ear, it goes in like that, right, into the ear. And it's just telling me that she's pairing. And then you turn it in like that. So the actual, it sits underneath the ear, actually, like that's their sport turn-in thing. And it is quite comfortable because it's like a surgical silicone. It's quite soft. Now, the really important thing with this is to get it right into the ear so that you get that sound isolation effect. And then it's going to give you a much better clarity and soundstage to it. Without the bud, filling up the ear hole properly and making a vacuum in there, I found that the mid-range was actually quite lacking. The treble and the bass was still very audible, and these are like subtle clarity dialed up headset. So if you were to look at this on a sound wave, it would probably have a little extra on the bass end, dip a little bit in the mid-range, and then go up towards the 6 kilohertz plus range once again. It's very noticeable with the music and stuff, which makes it really good, honestly, for kind of modern music and for vocal heavy music. If you're into vocalists and stuff and into people's voices, these are some of the best voice tone headsets or in-ears that I've pretty much ever used. I will say it probably limits itself a little bit where you're looking for that audiophile, very flat audio profile. These are definitely marked up and not really on that level. But for media, music and movies, they're absolutely fantastic for that because they've marked up that bass and those attractive, audio profiles and stuff to the ear. It will sound really attractive to a lot of users. And with this disgusting battery life, it makes these basically a 30-hour piece of headset. As it stands, just out of the box, I think their estimates are quite soft and usually are quoted at maximum power, which I don't think anybody's going to want to use because it's going to become exceedingly uncomfortable. They're also IPX5 certified, waterproof. Waterproof, it's a splash proof rating, honestly. So if they do get a bit wet or something like that, it's not going to be an issue. The controls are also touch on ear, so you can double tap, for instance, to increase volume. If you tap multiple times, it increases volume. If you tap once, it'll pause and play or answer your call if you do have an incoming call. And then if you hold it in on each of the sides, it will skip the track forward and backwards. There is a small bit of delay with that, so it can be a little bit did I or didn't I at first, but after using it for 10 minutes, it starts to feel extremely natural. This market, though, has become extremely saturated with product, and there's a myriad of stuff out there. The thing for me with Monster that just keeps coming back is the price versus performance is exceptionally good, especially where battery life and wireless are concerned. I mean, this has a Qualcomm Bluetooth chip inside of it. That's like the kind of level that Monster's going to. They're going to other name brands to get their good product to put into their product. So they really are stepping it up. These right now on the Evetech store are about 1,200 Rand. And that, like I say, definitely puts them in the more premium aspect. You can get cheaper sets like these for like $600-700, but your wireless and your battery life are not going to be anywhere near as comparable as this. This is about double of what you would get in other areas. And they haven't done any size or weight increase really to this. It's basically the same format as those other headsets. So what it tells me is the cells and stuff, the batteries and stuff in this unit are just that much better than the others. Really, you are getting a physically better product, like I say, with a Qualcomm, you know, Bluetooth, wireless, and everything like that inside of these earphones. It's been done really well. And the soundstage impressed me, to say the least. It really did give you like the virtual barbershop feel of getting that like central soundstage and stuff. They got it absolutely perfect. The stereo split on these, very, very good. Overall, at the money, Monster is kind of hard to beat. Anywho, that is all I have for you in this review. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do hit us up with a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the flip side.